Welcome back to the Wudder Boys podcast, quenching your thirst for quality sports content. I'm your host, Nicky Siggs, here with my co-host, as always, Luca Pilski.
Hello there.
And
Shittler Kanubi.
Justin Lear.
Come on, he said hello there. I gotta go for it.
We're missing our fourth man, Augie Davidson, as if you look on the cameras, you clearly can't see him.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. But he'll be back.
He'll be back.
And now, we're going to put the picture of Lonzo Ball in Augie's spot. You're welcome.
I agree.
Our editor will get on that.
I agree with this.
It's been a bit, but we're back.
It's been more than a bit, I would say.
Schedules have been impossible to work around, but I'm really hoping that we can get some more consistent shit going, because it's been bad. We've been horrible.
Our podcast isn't that bad.
Podcast's not bad. The schedule's been horrible.
I think our podcast is pretty bad.
Speaking of terrible, let's jump into things. Look at who's in the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. The Philadelphia 76ers. I want to start with something horrible. I left for 4 days, and I come back and they lost to the Hawks?
Yeah, but they beat the Lakers at some point.
Come on.
Oh yeah, they beat the Lakers.
Were they on the road against the Hawks?
Yes.
Okay.
Atlanta's a terrible town, too.
And they lost.
The traffic's horrible.
Atlanta has no fan base for the
Yeah,
Hawks.
I know.
They're terrible.
The Sixers don't win on the road. The fact that you even bring up the 6th seed in the East anymore.
They're so bad.
I'm not bringing up the
It's
Sixers
so
on this
frustrating.
podcast unless they win the championship anymore.
They're so frustrating. But anyway.
What else is frustrating? Thinking you did really well not getting the promotion. That must be how Devin Booker and Bradley Beal feel, as they are not in this year's All-Star game.
Yes.
And Lonzo, as mentioned earlier.
We will get to the All-Star snubs in 1 second, and we can
I thought I just transitioned to it.
Oh,
that was a pretty good segue.
It was a great transition, but we need to go over standings. We always do that.
All right.
Oh, look, guys. This is the Lakers. This is the top of the West. Oh, the Lakers are there. And guys, guess what? As in last time, guess who's still the top of the East? It's the Bucks. And the Bucks are now better than the Lakers.
Fine.
But
we'll go over All-Star
the East is still a mess. The same 5 teams that we said were 2 through 6 last time, probably still 2 through 6, Pacers, Celtics, Sixers, Raptors.
Can we switch back to really quickly? I'm sorry. I just want to switch back.
He's mentioning Lonzo.
To the West for a second. Let's fly down to New Orleans.
That is something we do need to talk about.
A few weeks ago, guess who's back?
We do.
The man, the myth, the legend himself. Lonzo Ball from an injury that he had Zion Williamson.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes.
Speaking of All-Star Game snubs.
Zion
he's played a whole 20
back.
minutes. He should qualify.
Yeah.
Zion has been playing awesome.
He's been playing very good.
He surprised me. I did not think he'd come back as strong as he did right away, but I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
His stats look great, and his on-court presence looks awesome. I think he looks a little chunky, but he's the 3rd heaviest player in the league.
Yeah.
Behind Boban and Taco, who are both 7'6", and he's 6'6".
MVP candidates for sure.
But if he can get a little bit faster up and down the court, I see nothing besides superstar for him. I see nothing besides future All-Star to come. His jumper is
first round exits because he's on the Pelicans.
Yep, absolutely. If they can get a few weapons there, they
might make the second round.
They have, I think, at least in my opinion, they have the best starting lineup. I think in the West, personally.
That's a little you're biased as hell. But I like the lineup that they have there. If they can go pull another star. I like what they've got going.
I think they can stars, but
Lonzo's an awesome distributor.
I think the best distributor in the league.
He's been playing really well lately, actually. His assist numbers are awesome.
Career high 15 assists last week.
Yeah, he's shooting the ball better now. Drew Holiday's an awesome veteran leader for the team. Brandon Ingram's an all-star.
Spent a minute too long on the Pelicans.
Brandon Ingram's an all-star.
Good for him.
Oh, dude, what a segue. It's like you handed me the segue that I lost earlier.
Yep.
Did you just say All-Star Game?
Yeah, we did.
Man, bro, it's not like I said it earlier. But I think this Devin Booker and Bradley Beal got snubbed from the All-Star Game.
Yes, Brad. Here's, I got about 8 players here. That were snubbed. We can go over each of them.
None of them are Lonzo. None of them are.
None of them are
You can
Lonzo
make it
Ball.
9 if you want to.
None of them are. No matter how upset that I am that Lonzo isn't in the All-Star game, no matter how upset that I am that Taco isn't in the All-Star game, no matter how upset I am that the White Mamba Alex Caruso is not in the All-Star game, we're talking legitimate snubs now. First off, Bradley Beal. Beal should have been in the All-Star game in my opinion. There were he's been averaging. Let's see. This. Thank you to whoever just honked their horn in the parking lot. Beal is averaging career highs of 28.6 points, 6 assists per game, and
You gotta push the window.
Dedicated fans to the Wudder Boys.
Colin, close
Those
the
are our fans, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know,
Who is that?
I think it's Griff. It's just calling me. Anyway, Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. Beal's averaging career high of 28.6 points, 6 assists, and he's doing that on a terrible team with no one else.
Which is probably why he has stats.
Yeah.
But he's averaging 6 assists. That's not bad. You have to be passing the ball to people to get assists, and they have to score the ball.
In theory.
That. I love his.
Next up, Devin Booker. Who's next one?
Next up is Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, speaking of other players on bad teams.
But he's been balling.
I love Zach LaVine.
LaVine has been playing awesome lately, and his shooting has improved so much since last season, from what I've seen at least. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 38% shooting from 3-point range. I like his game. And in the East, where there's not a whole lot of talent, I think that he could have definitely made it over some guys. Malcolm Brogdon of the Pacers. I don't know if he should have made the game, but he's scoring 17 points and making 17 assists. 17 points and 7 assists.
I was going to say you should nominate him if he gets 17 assists.
Yeah, it's not what I meant.
On pace to break John.
He's playing well, but I'm worried that when Oladipo comes back, his production's going to drop. That always happens when you add another star in the backcourt or in the front court. No, the backcourt. Jesus Christ, my brain. But so far I like his game. I think that the Bucks lost something there when they let him walk.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers made
They
it
lost so much, they're 41-7.
Next.
Can you just let me talk? Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. He's playing well, but it's hard to call him a snub.
What's up, boys?
Well.
Well, this is unscripted. This is unscripted.
We didn't bring you a camera.
I am.
Why are you here?
Because this is when I got here.
Oh, you pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair. Sit right next to me, bro.
I have a pretty big frame here.
It's good.
God, you stay there. I have a pretty big frame here.
Colin, this is a great time when you should have been here.
I was
This is
staying
a-
there.
this is a
Cut
good
my
time.
camera right before this moment. Cut my camera right before this moment.
You idiot. Why didn't you tell us you were coming?
Honestly, didn't think I was gonna get here this early. I wasn't coming. I knew I wasn't gonna
Guys,
get here.
welcome back, our third co-host, Augie Davidson!
That's like Maddie's here!
We're talking all-star snubs.
Okay, that's
All right, so what you think about Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, and Malcolm Brogdon?
Oh.
NBA expert Augie Davidson on
All
the
right,
plate.
so when we look at Bradley Beal, he's been playing really well, but the Wizards are so bad that I feel like the main reason he's not in the All-Star game is due to the fact that the Wizards just suck.
Yep.
They're so bad. LaVine, pretty much the same reason. The Bulls are just god awful.
Take your armor.
Oh, what? Come on, bro. All right, and then who was the third? Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
The Pacers are a very middle of the pack team, and although he's performed admirably, there's
It's Brogdon.
it's who are the reserve guards? Because that's what Brogdon would have been
Mons.
in the East.
Stop.
Retard.
I don't even remember. I have to look it up. Let's just go take a quick look at the All-Star rosters.
Yeah, I just want to see who the East
Yeah, I need to
reserve
double check
guards were.
that. Eastern reserves. You have
That guard.
Tatum, Lowry, Simmons, and Middleton.
He didn't deserve to get into
No, it would have been.
No.
I can
On
see
further consideration, Malcolm Brogdon,
not
an all-star snub.
I think that Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine could have made it over Middleton, but Middleton's playing really well lately as a great co-host to Giannis. And I think
and it
this
helps
is probably
that team is.
this is
so
probably Middleton's best season ever, in my opinion. So it's hard for me to say that he shouldn't be in the All-Star game.
Where's the?
Are there any more relevant ones?
Are we just using the Michael
Yes.
McCann?
Mike.
Besides Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
Okay,
playing
that
awesome.
That low-key was a snub. Who were the West?
High key was a snub. It's hard to put him in. The only other person I could see them taking out was Chris Paul, but Chris Paul's been playing awesome and leading the Thunder to a decent roster.
Yeah,
and
the
that
Thunder
roster's
30 and 20
horrible.
and they're terrible.
Yeah.
The Thunder's roster is horrible, and
It's
this
just like
is
the
coming.
Rush teams where they're just not very good.
This is coming from a Thunder fan. The Thunder suck this year. I don't like their roster at all.
It's not built.
It's crisp. They have pieces, but I'm surprised that they're blending the way that they are. Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams. Nerlens Noel is hurt consistently, but I love the man. It's a weird roster, but Chris Paul's playing awesome and leading that team. The only other person I can see them taking out is Donovan Mitchell, but once again, the Jazz are good. So
and the Suns just suck.
Suns don't. Okay, they're better than we thought they'd be, but they're not good.
No, they're really not good.
Karl Anthony Towns of the Timberwolves.
Hot start.
Wow.
Hot start.
Hot start.
I think we're just naming all the star players who are just on terrible teams.
Yeah, they're all
that's
really
kinda
just
what it
the
is.
stars on bad teams.
It's hard for me to put them in because
Over Gobert.
it would be over Gobert, Jokic, or I guess Donovan Mitchell, or not. Brandon Ingram. Sorry, read the wrong name.
No.
What about Melo?
No.
Melo.
No, not an all-star.
Ouch.
Get out.
Oh, come on, Melo doesn't get a higher nod than Brandon Ingram.
John Morant, not an all-star.
Not an all-star,
Not an
but
all-star yet.
definitely
Good. Very
rookie of
good.
the
He's
year
a
so
rising.
far.
He's a rising.
Definitely
Oh,
rookie of the
absolutely.
year.
I see him as a star for years
Real
to
quick,
come.
real quick. I just want to bring this up. This is kind of off the All-Star track, more on the Rising Star track. Can we talk about how Matisse Thybulle got a snub to the Rising Star game?
Yes, his
This is
defensive
a rising star game?
Yeah.
USA versus World.
Oh. That's called
He
a
didn't
rising
make the
star
USA
game.
team, and his defensive production has
He's
been
the best defensive rookie in the league by far.
His defensive numbers are better than any rookie we've seen in so long.
Yeah.
Pull up the roster.
The Rising Star game.
The Rising Star roster.
All right.
So, I think that about, besides Justin looking up this Matisse Thybulle fact.
Matisse Thybulle.
Yes.
Thief.
I think that wraps up for NBA. Kobe died. I thought obligatorily we had to mention that.
All right.
We're not gonna dedicate a whole podcast to Kobe, but he wasn't as good as Melo. Melo should make
Get out. No, get out. No.
I really
big Melo guy myself, but
I need you to stop.
No.
and also Kobe didn't play college basketball, which is our next topic. Zoom.
But he did go to Lower Marion High School.
That's irrelevant.
I just killed that
Guess we're not
segue.
doing the
You're
Rising
welcome.
Star thing.
Yeah, you did.
That's whatever.
Drove my segue into a bush. Top 5 in college basketball. Number 1, Baylor. Haven't lost since the second game of the season against Washington.
For now.
They've been dropping hot fire. They destroyed Kansas in Kansas, so they're pretty good.
Okay, then.
Gonzaga hasn't lost since Thanksgiving. When they lost to Michigan. Also just dropping hot flames on everyone in the West Coast Conference, who's no one.
Yeah.
Kind of true.
Yeah. So Kansas, they're number 3.
Aforementioned. Move on.
They lost Baylor
Yeah.
this month,
Yeah, sure.
but they lost Nova too, and most of it was
That is
Duke.
not correct.
It was to Duke. They lost to Duke. They were bad.
That is not.
That was when Duke was ranked
Right
at
out
number
of-
4. So
What did you do?
Oh, I cut my fingers.
Kansas is pretty. Yeah, this is
we're
pretty
over.
recording.
It will stop bleeding.
And then my favorite team in the nation, number 4, San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Haven't lost. This is the best run they've had to start a season since Kawhi went there. They're bowling 22-0, best start in school history again. Deserve a 1 seed. They're beating up on the Mountain West, which is a bit better than the West Coast Conference, but still not really there. And final of the top 5, they're going to drop out of the top 5. It's Florida State. They lost to Virginia earlier this week. But
Virginia's not ranked.
they rolled off like a solid 10-game win streak. And then
Coming off a national chip, Virginia. Yes, unranked.
they're solid in ACC play. Except they lost to Pitt to start the year. That's weird. Who loses to Pitt? Garbage.
Wait,
Miami in football.
I lost the Pitt and beat them.
Who else beats Miami in football? Florida International University.
Florida International and like Louisiana
every
Institute of Technology.
Yes, yes. Hey, Louisiana.
You got every on the coaching staff, so I mean, kind of hard to do with that.
Yeah. Anyway. Who
We
cares?
don't talk.
So
We don't talk about this.
those
right
teams.
now. This is more like this for me.
Florida
right now.
State dropped out of that 5 seed. Probably gonna be taken over by Louisville. So those are the teams that are right now prospective number 1s. Dayton's still pretty good. Duke, Nova lost today. Seton Hall lost today. Oregon, West Virginia, Kentucky. Other than that, everyone really doesn't have a shot. Michigan State was the next closest, but they're out. They just lost twice this week.
Hey, Seton Hall may have lost, but Miles Powell is so good. I love Miles Powell. His jumper is wet.
And he was
I
injured.
promised I wouldn't talk about the Big East, but I mean today was a bad day.
At the time of recording, all 3 Big East teams
Yeah.
that were ranked have lost. Villanova, Butler, and Seton Hall. So,
Yeah. Remember when Butler was the number 2 seed in the country?
one of them was number 2 seed in receiving AP votes. I want to say about 2 months ago. Do you guys remember Ohio State?
Oh yeah.
They were. If Gonzaga,
Where?
actually, if
where's
Ohio State just didn't start losing,
Where's Ohio State? I don't see them on these.
they're I want to say 2-3-8. I would say Big Ten play. So they've won maybe 2 games since Big Ten play started. And it's been against like Northwestern and Purdue.
Can we talk about something though?
Quality win.
Penn State
At the number
basketball.
20, yeah, number.
Penn State basketball.
Dude, we're like on the same page.
I know, a great mindset.
But,
Number 24.
Number 24 in the nation, Penn State basketball.
Not sure how
They
that
knocked
happened.
off Maryland earlier this year when they were super high ranked. And
They beat Ohio State when Ohio State was ranked.
like
But I mean, this is one of the best starts to Penn State basketball we've seen in a while.
Penn State has not made the Final Four since 1954 and has
No one cares.
not
about
been
your
ranked
irrelevant
since
facts.
1996.
Thank you, Sigs.
Thank
So,
you for your irrelevant basketball.
Peak
facts.
irrelevancy, but they're back. Because the Big Ten's actually really good this year. We mentioned Michigan State. Ohio State was good. Penn State's pretty decent. Iowa's ranked.
Maryland.
We mentioned Maryland. Rutgers, also for the first time since the 90s, has been ranked.
Auburn's
Haven't
at
made the
number
tournament since the
17. Auburn's up there again.
Yeah, they started undefeated and they've lost, what, 2 games?
War Eagle.
They're 17-2.
Yeah, LSU,
That's a good team.
LSU's 15-4.
undefeated in SEC.
The SEC.
So they're pretty good. Yeah. So there's still a lot of games played.
If
A lot
you
of
couldn't
conference
tell,
play.
we're getting a slight call from a.
A lot of
We've
conference
been
play. to go-
a lot of distractions.
A lot of conference play to
You
go
know,
to. So
The good thing is about distractions is that through distractions,
You
the
learn how to
6
really
ski brand
hone in.
itself is able to pursue through those distractions and become the best.
Pursue.
and that's
So yeah,
Persevere.
That's why we like to thank the,
we want to
Sig-
pursue with our goals.
That's why we like to
pursue
No, you don't.
the highest point that we can.
that's
Okay.
why we'd like to thank Sig Ski for sponsoring the Wudder Boys podcast.
Good
Wudder Boys podcast was brought to you by Sig Ski. Be future.
Join the future to
So
be
be
the
the
future. It hasn't been that long since we ran 6.
So yeah. Love to thank myself and Ski for sponsoring our podcast.
Are you okay?
Transitioning from the other college sport, one college sport to another. Next up, we have college football.
No one
Speaking
cares.
of LSU,
It's already
Yeah,
they
it's
won.
over.
They won the championship.
They won the
Great.
championship.
That happened
Joe Burrow's
in the
going to the
interim.
Bengals. Great.
Joe Burrow's going to be the number 1 overall pick
Great.
for the Bengals, who are in the NFL, which transfers up to the really relevant thing that's happening.
The NFL draft in 2 months, 3 months.
26 hours, you will be sitting somewhere. 26 hours from right this minute when I'm recording. 26 hours, we will be watching the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Chiefs, Niners. Niners, 2nd overall pick last year. Turnaround. Chiefs lost in overtime in the AFC chip, but Andy Reid overcoming the conference chip game to lose another Super Bowl, potentially.
Alright, so, as is customary, it's time to make some picks.
I'm going last. I want to hear Sigs first because we were talking a little bit before we started recording.
So,
Nikki Signoretta.
I want to hear
the Chiefs opened with, I want to say, a 1.5.
Point and a half spread was what I heard this morning.
they were minus 1.5. I think the Niners, I always say defense wins championships teams. So I'm really into this Niners team.
Yeah, you've
Except
always
I physically despise the Niners, so I can't pick them. Mahomes for the MVP. It's too powered.
I know why he
Wow.
despises them.
I
I'm not
despise
gonna say
them.
it.
I
We're not going to say it on this
despise
podcast,
the Niners.
okay? We're not going to say it on the
Oh, I didn't even think about that reason. That's a good reason.
Okay.
So
I
his
thought,
official pick, we're 1-0
Chiefs,
towards the
and one of
Chiefs.
us, they're going
I-
to cover by 7 points.
I
Maybe
always
just
I
by 12.
expected you to pick the Niners because I remember last year in the Super Bowl we were all bored out of our minds watching the Patriots Rams.
He wasn't.
You liked that
No,
Super
he
Bowl
wasn't.
because it was all defense.
Which, I mean, I get. But
I get,
America
but
doesn't want to see a
defense.
low-scoring game.
It was malicious coaching. Belichick is just a madman. Oh, also, yeah, he sucks because he lost to Derrick Henry. We never got to mention that.
That is
And
true.
then Derrick Henry beat the number one
Yes.
seed Ravens.
I'm
Henry,
so
And then
happy
Kirk
with
Cousins
the
beat the
Titans
Saints.
are on, but-
So,
Wait. So it's the Chiefs and the 49ers, right? Lamar Jackson? Wait, the Ravens?
you know, Lamar Jackson's younger than Joe Burrow, who just won the Heisman Trophy.
I didn't hear Baltimore in there.
You know, Lamar
They're not.
Jackson is.
They're not.
You know, Lamar Jackson is I want to say 19-5 in his career in the regular season. So he's like 21. He has some time.
I know. I just
Following the
I
great
just love
Joe-
messing with you. 'cause
He'll
you're a
follow
Ravens
the
fan.
great Joe
You're a Ravens-
Flacco
you're a-
steps of being a leader.
Yeah, they'll figure him out next year.
Elite,
He's
but
gonna
only
turn
winning
into
like one
a
championship.
schmuck.
Well, Dan Marino was elite, but never won anything. So that makes Joe Flacco just.
Don't.
But Mel is
All
better.
right,
than
Joe
Joe
Flacco
Flacco.
is
But Mel is better than
ladies
Let's
and
change
gentlemen.
the subject.
All right, Luke's pick.
Let me pick.
All right, he
No,
knows
hold on,
he's
he's
still
got a
last.
pick. He's
Yeah,
All right,
Ainsley
all right,
Justin.
I thought you were just going.
Go ahead, Ben.
All right.
Might have started talking.
Well, I love like both teams have a good storyline to win this. Like thinking like that. Like the Chiefs have a coach who's never won, who's overcome all this crap to try and make the Super Bowl, and Mahomes is the MVP.
No, he's not.
Or
Lamar's the MVP.
Or sorry, Mahomes
He's
was
going
the
to be the
MVP
Super Bowl
last
MVP
year.
when he beats the Niners by 7 points.
And like overcoming all that crap, and then overcoming odds to come back and win this, and then like the Niners have their defense, which is just like
Fire.
so good.
Hot boys.
Nick Bosa and Richard Sherman, like that's like both of those guys.
Why are you
just
putting
so
your phone in your
good?
shot?
They're so good. So it's like so hard. I want the Chiefs to win because as an Eagles fan, I have trouble rooting against McCoy and Andy Reid.
And Sammy Watkins. He wasn't an Eagle, was he?
No,
I thought he was
You're
an Eagle.
just stupid.
He just underperformed.
All Sammy Watkins did was screw my fantasy team.
He sounds like an Eagles receiver.
Dude, that's
He sounds like
fantasy this year was. I mean, in my opinion, fantasy was terrible.
one cares about
I mean,
Fantasy was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great,
in
but
my
this
opinion.
kid won the league.
You may have
so.
won, but we don't really care. I gotta go with my gut and say the Niners are gonna win this one. I think it's gonna be like last year. I think it's gonna be.
last time you picked the Niners on the podcast, they lost to the Seahawks in overtime.
Wow, thank you, Nikki. That's
cursed him.
that's so cool.
You cursed him.
Where?
Well, I'm about to jinx them again because I'm going with the Niners. I think that the Niners defense is going to be super on point this week. I think it's going to be a very highly defensive game. So I think that the defensive line of the Chiefs is going to come through. And I think
For
it's
the
gonna
first
be-
time this year?
Yep. That's my hot take. I think
For the first time.
for the first time this year, Chiefs defensive line is actually going to do well.
Stop Tevon Coleman.
The rushing game is going to have to overcome that. We don't know. I like the Chiefs defense and I like the Niners defense. I think it's going to be two rock hard defenses going up against each other.
So he's picking the Niners.
He's picked the
I
Niners.
am picking the Niners. I have picked the Niners.
I don't understand how he's saying. I'll start by saying the fact that you just said that the Chiefs have a stout defense is maybe the
I don't
dumbest
say
thing
that
I've ever heard.
I haven't said that it's
How
been
to
good all
take the
year.
Kobe
I haven't
versus
said that it's
Carmelo?
been good all year.
They're
But I'm
not
saying it's coming through this
worse
week.
than Carmelo?
They're coming through this week. That's my hot take. They're
Okay.
coming big this week.
So when I look at this Super Bowl, I see a team that has, in the Chiefs, a lot of offense and no defense, and the Niners, a lot of offense and a lot of defense. So, I think that early in the game, Nick Bosa is going to rip Patrick Mahomes' head off, and Mahomes will never be the same for the rest of the game.
That'd be funny, actually.
And I think it would
You're a
then.
you're a sociopath.
Who's your backup?
That's
No,
what we learned today.
Matt, what's his name?
Rita?
No.
Shop.
No.
What?
Who's the backup?
Shut
Who's the
up.
Chiefs backup?
Is it Alex Smith? No.
Might be Matt Castle.
No,
I don't know.
that's-
All I
Give
think
me a
is.
sec.
Oh, the Chiefs' backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's a
Wow,
cool
I
one.
had no idea where you were going with that. Oh,
Stephon Gilmore named D Player of the Year.
Matt
Deserved.
Matt Moore.
Matt
Stephon
Moore.
Gore.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. I think this 49ers defense is going to absolutely rip Mahomes' head off early in the game.
Tough.
Quan Alexander, straight out of Hop Boys University, is going to end Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And I think that the zone blocking scheme of Kyle Shanahan is going to absolutely run over the Chiefs' defense. Big Mike McGlinchey, 69, right side of that line. My guy, Bucksco. Let's get it.
What if Andy Reid just eats Kyle
That's true.
or Kyle Shanahan?
he's gonna
He
eat a
could eat Kyle.
cheeseburger and go to bed.
But what if he eats him first?
But
What
I,
if he actually
I
just
think
eats the
it's
entire
going to be an
Niners offense?
offensive shootout, even though the 49ers probably aren't going to throw the ball all that much. But I think they're just going to be able to go down the field and score. So I'm
Actually,
taking Niners by a tutty.
That'd be funny if it becomes a shootout. Cause I actually want. It'd be cool if Jimmy proves himself after everyone's been like saying he's not good.
I'd
Yeah,
love to see a shootout. I just don't
I
think
think it'd
it's
be
gonna
super
happen.
cool to see a shootout. I just don't think it's going to happen because I think the Niners are just going to be running them over the whole game. There's going to be no need. Because in these playoff games, Jimmy has had zero need to throw the football.
That Packers game was insane.
He probably
he
could have
threw the ball
gone 0
8
for
times.
0
He
in
threw
the
the-
Packers game. They still
No,
won.
It was 8 times.
he threw the ball 8 times.
No, he probably
like
couldn't have
6.
not thrown it at all, and they still would have won.
He
It's kind of
went like
poetry.
6 for 8, and then the Raheem Mostert had like what was it, 4 touchdowns, like
Yeah.
400 yards,
Raheem
like
Mostert would have
like-
with me.
oh my
It's
god.
kind of poetry because Shanahan lost that Super Bowl with Atlanta calling passing plays too late. Like he threw away that game by kept calling passing calls, and now he just refused. He's like, I'm not doing this
I
anymore.
refuse to do
It's
that.
like I'm just putting the ball on the ground and killing you.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen to Andy Reid and the
Now
Chiefs.
here's the question before Luke makes his pick. We all have to make our completely irrelevant Super Bowl pick of the year. What color will the Gatorade be?
Yellow.
You got yellow? Dude, this is. If you're not picking the Gatorade color, you're not doing the Super Bowl right.
Orange.
Orange?
Really quick. Oh, God.
I'm going orange as well. I think it's going to be orange.
Red because the Chiefs are wearing red when they win
Both-
the Super Bowl.
Both teams have red in their uniforms,
Yeah.
so I wanted to pick red, but it also be too
Real
cliche.
quick. Over under. A minute 55 of the
National anthem.
national anthem.
Well, who's singing?
Demi Lovato.
Ooh.
You have to go over.
Dude, she's drowning it out.
We got an over from the editor over
The
there.
first time she's ever done this, dude. Oh yeah, he's going way over. Oh, blue Gatorade. He wants blue Gatorade.
Oh, come on.
Colin wants
And
blue
I'm editor.
Yeah, I take the over on
Yeah.
minute and a half, minute 55.
All right, let's wrap this.
I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
If you have
Excuse
if you have a radio and you live in the Philadelphia area, you know 94 WIP. You know the morning show, yeah,
Unfortunately.
morning show. Joe Giglio, my good friend Joe Giglio. And,
Unfortunately.
man, on Thursday they
You
had
don't see
Andy
radio?
Reid Appreciation Day. Isn't that insane?
Really?
Why?
Andy Reid, best coach in Eagles history.
Most wins.
Most wins. Yeah.
And you guys ran him out of town?
I know, right?
For Chip Kelly?
For Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly?
I never
And then
said
we
the
won a
Eagles.
Super Bowl.
I never said the Eagles were.
And then we won the Super
confident.
Bowl, so it was all worth it.
I think we should never talk
Actually,
about
the teams
Chicago
that run Chip Kelly out of town shortly make the Super Bowl after. Because the Niners are
That's
the other
true.
one.
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot he was
Anyway.
Niners.
There is
Where is
nothing
he
more.
UCLA.
The thing that I want to see before I die is Andy Reid win a Super Bowl.
I
He
agree.
deserves
Exactly
it.
what I said.
He absolutely deserves it. LaShawn McCoy, I think he deserves it as well.
I'm rooting for the
And
Chiefs.
guess what's going to happen tomorrow?
They're going to lose.
Andy
They
Reid-
are going to get steamrolled by the 49ers.
Yes.
The 49ers
Damn.
are the most physical team in football.
It's beautiful.
By far, I don't care what you say, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
But he is
The
going
past
to get his
2 years, he has been the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's going to get his butt kicked tomorrow.
not
He is
regular
absolutely going to be his
The
butt.
Niners defense is just so good. There's
regular
Yeah.
season
You
Lamar.
saying Lamar's the best?
Regular season
Lamar is the MVP. Is he in the playoffs?
No.
Did he get steamrolled by the Titans?
That's another thing. I want everybody to take it back to 2 weeks ago. He's still saying Lamar's the best. I want everybody to take it back 2 weeks ago. That was a nail biter down to the fourth quarter
Chiefs.
and halfway to the fourth quarter with the Chiefs and the Titans.
Oh.
They just had to stop Derrick Henry, and I mean they did in the second half, not in the first half.
But
Eventually.
however,
But
the Titans'
if you-
defense is not as good as the Chiefs' defense,
Mhm.
and the Titans' run game, in my mind, is not as good as the Niners' run game.
The
I think
Niners.
the Niners are better on both
This
sides
is
of
a
the ball.
very poor Chiefs defense that is not going to show up tomorrow. This is a extremely physical 49ers defense that is going to show up tomorrow. Super Bowl MVP. Watch this. Ready? Nick Bosa.
I agree.
This is going to be a defensive game.
Yeah.
This is going to be a defensive game.
I like where
I
you're-
like it, but one thing I do have to say is I'm agreeing with you with this. The Niners made the Super Bowl convincingly. There was no like the Packers game, they just ran them over.
Mhm.
If you look back to the Chiefs games where they had to find a way to stop Derrick Henry in the second half, and then almost lose to Bill O'Brien and the freaking Texans, like.
Well, that was really
They were
the
in
first
first
half
half.
game. I mean, that was Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien coached.
And they were down
Putrid
24
second.
nothing. Did you think they were
Bill
gonna
O'Brien coached a putrid second half.
lose? All right, so I think we've all definitively said we think the Niners are better, and I just picked the Chiefs because I want them.
Yep.
All right, so
Pitchers and catchers, 2 weeks.
Tom,
Yeah, baseball. Yeah.
Pitchers and catchers.
Oh, what do we got for pick right there?
Colin and Steven picks.
KC.
KC.
All right, we got
Steven
one
was
editor
KC,
pick
Colin.
with the KC.
Yeah.
KC.
All right, we got.
there you go. I have
two
the editors
editors
on my
No,
side.
I'm going Niners.
Oh,
Yeah!
Majority to the Niners.
Quinn would have picked Casey.
Quinn would have picked KC.
We
So
are
that's
missing
it.
Quinn this week, sadly.
That's it?
We do miss our editor.
We would like to thank our
Quick
editors
cameo.
and Quinn for always being helpful to
Always.
the Wudder Boys podcast.
Except when Quinn's not here, but
Yeah.
The new
I still want to
logo.
thank him.
I still
Oh,
love
the new
Bruce.
logo? New logo?
New logo's going to be
shout
showing right now.
right now.
Bang, that was cool. Bam, picture of Lonzo. Didn't see that one coming.
Oh, Fitzmagic! Oh, getting fancy.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. I
The
just.
podcast is over, dude.
So,
What do you want?
Oh,
Fitzmagic! Enough!
You could fade to black.
we ruined our tank for Tua.
Except they didn't.
Yeah.
Except they really didn't.
Yeah, you'll go.
Yeah, we'll get him anyway.
And that is going to be next episode. I'm calling it right now. Wudder Boys mock draft.
Alright.
I'm so
I dig
in.
it.
I'm down for
Get
that.
ready,
Let's
ladies
do
and
it.
gentlemen.
Let's do it. So,
Can we release the unreleased 2019 Wudder Boys mock draft that we never did?
That we never
No.
did? Yeah, sure.
There's
That's
footage
right
of it.
here.
There's footage
Just
of
kidding.
it.
It's another picture of Lonzo.
why is there footage of that?
Bonus footage!
Bonus footage! Bloopers!
We're so right. When Tyler gets drafted #1 overall, we were so right.
There should be.
Hindsight lies.
Bloopers at the end of this episode?
That's
Actually,
Editor?
bloopers. He's like, I don't.
Bloopers.
That was a draft review. Never mind. Of course, it was hindsight 2020.
Have a nice night, everybody.
Ladies and
Shut up.
gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on the Wudder Boys podcast. From Nikki, myself, Justin, and Augie, you guys have a great day. Stay thirsty.
Hey, hang on. Is this how you do white dance? Justin, please. That has to go off when I start talking. We're gonna get demonetized. Yeah, that's so true though.
That's what we want.
Honestly, we're gonna get demonetized either way.
So wake me up when it's all over.
And welcome back to the Wudder Boys
You suck!
and blooper. And welcome back to the Wudder Boys podcast, bringing you quenching your thirst for all the sports content.
Cut! Do it again!
That was
Take three.
good.
No, he
A
was
little
like
bit.
bringing you. quenching.
yeah. What you need. No, you can't like move around after each fail because then I have to